All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the NCCU Football Press Conference with head coach Trei Oliver. Before we get started, I would like to point out that as of this morning, the Eagles have officially claimed their highest national ranking in the FCS Top 25 poll in program history. In both the American Football Coaches Association poll and the Stats Perform poll, the North Carolina Central Eagles are now the 7th ranked team in the nation. So congratulations, Coach. If you could, you have any initial reaction to that news?
Somebody told me last night when I took the job, what would I say if I would have heard that we were going to be ranked over? I think it was North Dakota State. Would you believe that? But it's a testament to everybody in the program. I'm so appreciative of everybody's effort. Starting up top with the administration, and then our support staff has done a great job. From our strength staff, Thomas Carroll, our athletic trainers, the coaches, and obviously the players. So I'm so happy of those guys and for what they've been able to accomplish. And again, I'm just along for the ride. I do press conferences, guys. I'm just along for the ride.
Coach, if you could take us back to Saturday's homecoming victory.
It was unbelievable. When they talk about the ultimate homecoming, that was the ultimate homecoming. And it was great to see the community come out and support us. No incidents, no issues on the campus. Everybody was just having a good time, and it was good to see the alum back home enjoying themselves. But the game, I thought our guys got off to a fast start this week. I was pleased to see that. We jumped up on them 28-3. Then I think kind of relaxed a little bit and kind of lost a little bit of focus. But we let those guys back in the game. I think they scored 21 unanswered points. And at halftime, I told my guys, I know they're coaching on the sidelines, Coach Odom's, and those guys aren't going to quit. So we got to come out here and continue to fight. But, it was a very good ball game. Physical, I thought we played, had made plays in all three phases of the game. I thought our quarterback play was exceptional. Made some big throws and catches in the first half. I thought our defense made some big stops. And then we had a big block punt. So I was pleased to see that. The middle eight is what got us, though. I was very disappointed with our middle eight. The last 4 minutes of the first half and the first 4 of the second half. We did not win the middle eight, which we preach all the time. But we came away with the win, and I was pleased about that.
Thanks, Coach. We have a question from Todd Gibson. Go ahead, Gibby.
Yeah, Trey, so you talked about concentration. The guys are one win away from getting back to the Celebration Bowl. How do you broach that in practice this week and keep the guys focused on the game at hand on Saturday?
Well, we had a team meeting on Sunday, and we talked about everything counts. When you're talking about winning championships, there's no such thing as little things. Everything counts. We will not adjust our practice schedule this week. We're not going to practice any longer than we usually do. Everything is going to be the exact same. But we just have to do it at a high level. Everything, whatever it may be. And, we talk about being a champion this week, on and off the field, as far as study hall, going to class, weight room, everything. So this has got to be a great week of preparation for us. We're going to play a really good Howard football team, well-coached team. And, I think our guys are definitely excited about the opportunity. We can now talk about championships. We don't talk about that around here until it's time. But we can officially talk about championships right here now.
Coach, Howard doesn't have a great record, but, man, I just checked their schedule. They are in every game they play. I imagine you're thinking your guys are going to be a fourth quarter game when you face these guys on Saturday.
Yes, very similar to last week against Norfolk State. If you look at Norfolk State record, it's not going to blow you away. But if you look at the final scores, all their games were one possession games, except I think Temple. And Howard, same type ball club, very physical. I think they're very explosive on the perimeter, and they're a very, very good football team. But they had a very challenging schedule, like we did early on in non-conference play. But they're a dangerous football team. So obviously, we're going to have to play our best ball this week.
Coach, are you guys healthy and heading into this game? How do you feel about the health of your team heading into Saturday?
We're banged up, but it's football. We're week 11, I guess it is. So I don't It's a physical sport. So if you're healthy right now, you haven't been playing hard. We had a guy, Seven Warren, we lost him this past week with the lower body injury. So he'll be out for the rest of the season. And a couple other guys are down and banged up, but it's football. That's what it's about.
Coach, this weekend is going to be a matchup with the top two offenses in the league, and a lot of people have looked at what the Eagles offense has done, and it's Howard that actually has the highest average for total yards per game in the league this year. What do they do well offensively?
Multiple formations. They do a great job of getting their playmakers the ball. You have to defend the whole field, sideline to sideline, as well as the vertical ball. And I think, like I said a little while ago, they have some very explosive receivers. They have three really, really good running backs. Edgerrin James' son is one of their running backs. But in their big up front, quarterback does a great job of taking care of the football. I think he's only had 4 interceptions this year. So, they're a complete team.
But Coach, how challenging are road games at this point in the year? I know it's so much easier to play at home, but how tough are road games as you get this deep into the season?
I don't think they're very difficult. And Andrea Perry, our director of football ops, does a great job as far as making sure the guys are comfortable on the way to and from games. We're gonna stay at nice hotels. We're gonna eat like champions. So the guys are gonna be comfortable, throughout the trip. We're gonna have a great crowd up there in DC. I'm sure we'll probably have more fans than they will, because Eagle Nation travels up in the DMV area. But I don't have a problem with us playing on the road. I think we'll be just fine.
Our next question's from Byron Paris. Go ahead, Byron.
Something that I've noticed for the entirety of the year is that the offensive line, they're not getting their name called. They're doing their job. What do you preach to these guys to constantly go into the game so they properly do their job and don't wander?
Right. And those guys are the unsung heroes up front. Like you said, they don't rarely get their name called unless something bad is happening. But we talk about, in this program, everybody counts, everybody matters. So, and it starts up front. I praise the O-line, and for us to have a chance in any game, it starts up front with the O-line and the D-line. But Coach Cedric Williams, our O-line coach, he has those guys prepared. So very rarely will a team give us something up front, whether it be, a defensive front or a pressure, some type of blitz that we hadn't seen, that we're not prepared for. So it starts with preparation. And like I said, Coach Williams does an outstanding job with those guys. And, when you have leaders like DeQuan Thomas, Torselli, it makes life a lot easier.
Their defensive line on the field, especially, seemed like they were playing with a lot more fire last game. How do you keep that fire and drive controlled and not have it overwhelm them where they're out there making mistakes?
That's a good question. If you met our defensive coordinator, you know where the fire comes from. Coach Cord gets those guys on defense side on the ball ready to play. But we still have to control our emotions, and we talk about having a thermostat mentality. Not too high, not too low. But I was pleased, and I thought our defensive line has played better as the season has gone. But Mekhi McCall is a guy that he was playing safety when he first got here, and we moved him down. And he does a great job of getting pressure on the quarterback. Mansfield, Jaden Taylor, those guys, come to play. Christian Smith. So we have some depth down there, and Thomas Johnson, plays week in and week out, and he's a force. But very pleased with that. Very pleased. And they're going to play really well this week because Howard's got a big offensive line, and they're physical.
Next question from JB Ricks. Go ahead, JB.
Going back to this homecoming weekend, and you talked about the support that you guys are getting and just how wonderful of a weekend it was, and there were a lot of videos of that support that were kind of going viral, and just how quote unquote lit the entire homecoming situation was this past weekend. Have you seen growth in that when it comes to like the homecoming and the support that you guys are getting since you first arrived, and how much would you attribute that to the success that you guys have gained over the past couple of years?
Definitely. When I got here, you could still buy tickets probably at halftime in 19. I don't think people really were trying to come out here and see us in 19. But, everybody wants to be associated with a winner. And, you put a good product on the field, people are going to come see you. And I told the guys, it's going to be packed out here. It's going to be sold out and campus is going to be off the chain. But these people are not coming here to see Coach Oliver. They're coming here to see you all put on a show. So let's get the people what they paid for. And, it was unbelievable. You look on the hill and the track, it was some folks on campus this weekend.
Yeah, I saw all the videos, man. I'm amazed. I've never seen it like that at North Carolina Central, man. So congratulations to you, everything you got going on with this program, and make sure you get it done at Howard this week and clinch that MEAC championship.
And JB, like I said again, man, you have like probably 20, 30,000 people on campus, and it was peaceful. I can't say enough about that.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful to witness. I've never seen it since I've been here covering you guys over the years. So trust me, I was vastly impressed.
Wait till next year.
I'm here for it.
I've got another question from Todd Gibson. Go ahead, Gibby.
Yeah, Coach, last year it seemed like it took forever for you guys to move up into the polls, and now this year you're up to number 7. Does that just kind of show the nation is now believing in this North Carolina Central program? Do you feel it's that way now?
I think it had to do with our scheduling. I think it was all about scheduling. When, if you look at who we beat non-conference this year and last year, you beat a ranked New Hampshire team that's usually top of their conference. You beat an Elon team on the road. You beat Campbell team. You beat North Carolina A&T. So when you do play well out of conference, that'll get people's attention. So I think, Kyle and I sat down and we looked at the schedule after I came up with it, and Kyle just kind of gave me a look. And I knew we were stretching ourselves out there a little bit, but we had to do that, and we had to play those teams for us to get this national attention.
Our next question is from Kate Rogerson. Go ahead, Kate.
Coach, every Monday you say, okay, we got to be better. Has this team played their best football yet?
No, we have not played our best football. And, we saw flashes of being a great football team, spurts on offense, spurts on defense, spurts in the kicking game. But when I talk about our best game, I need us to play well in all 3 phases for 60 minutes.
What will it take for this team to potentially play their best football on Saturday? You just said all 3 phases, but do you believe that it can happen this Saturday?
It's got to happen this Saturday. It's got to. And, I challenged them Sunday in the team meeting. Everything counts, and we have to police ourselves. This week, leaders got the lead. And it shouldn't be a whole lot of coaches getting on guys and all that stuff. Everybody knows what's at stake this weekend.
All right, our next question is from Caleb Veal. Go ahead, Caleb.
Just what have you seen, because you guys have played from all types of talent, from FBS to the high FCS schools and defeated. Just how has this helped your team at this point in the season? You guys have won in a multitude of ways. Just how have you seen that your team has handled this adversity through the scheduling?
Well, I think it's prepared us several ways. Obviously, when you have to travel on the road and go play these non-conference opponents, you haven't played at their facility before, or, it's just different. And you're out of your comfort zone, I guess you could say. And then also schematically, offensively and defensively, when you've seen the same teams in your conference year in and year out, you kind of get a feel about what each other like to do. But now when you start playing these non-conference opponents, usually they run a lot of different stuff. So whether it be formations or motions or shifts, defensive fronts or coverages, we've seen it all, and we're battle tested. So that's why I think that's helped prepare us for this stretch down the road.
And then secondly, your quarterback, Davius Richard, I mentioned after the game that he threw less than 20 passes and you guys were still able to come out with the win. Just how comfortable does that make a coaching staff knowing that we don't have to throw the ball, we can run it, we can win in all these different ways? Just what does that do for the program?
You got to be able to run the football. You must be able to run the football to win games and win championships. And then obviously you have to be able to throw the ball to keep people balanced. I believe he was 9 of 16 this week. But, we had probably, I think, 3 or 4 drops in the first half. So, his percentage could have been, off the charts. But, we'll take what defenses give us. And Coach Leone does a really good job, and our offensive staff, of game plan and picking people apart. And there were some things there we saw in the run game that we could take advantage of, and we did that.
All right, our next question is from Byron Paris. Go ahead, Byron.
Running back, Collier, he got selected to the Legacy Bowl, so that's 2 players now. How proud are you for specifically Latrell on getting this honorable honor?
Yes, I talk about him all the time, and He's a great person. And when we came, I brought him in my first year here in 19, and he was way down the charts. He was like our fourth string running back, and never complained. Always came to work, even though he might have, he felt as though he should have gotten more playing time, which obviously he should have. But he never complained, and he's a great teammate. He's a great team player. But when he got the opportunity and for it to be his show, he's shown everybody that he's the man, and he's more than capable, of carrying the load. But physical running back, great without the ball in his hands and pass pro, and that's really why a lot of the NFL scouts like him, is because he's great in pass pro and has great hands. But he's more than deserving to go to the Legacy Bowl. I think that's a no-brainer. And I think we had a couple more seniors that'll probably be getting invited as well.
Sticking with the running backs here, just you guys have two studs. I mean, we've seen what Mookie can do, and we've also seen what Taylor can do in clutch situations. Just what do you think really separates these two backs? And is it more of a 1-2 punch or a 1A, 1B punch in your mind?
Yeah, they have two different styles of running. Mookie's very physical, more of a downhill back, one cut, and let's go. Jamari, has great vision, great balance, great top end speed. And he's more of a jump cut guy, make you miss, and then he can take it a distance as well. But both of those guys are very talented. And, Coach Maurice, our running back coach, he does a great job with managing that room and the talent we have there, because we have a couple other ones that are just waiting to get their opportunity. But, the guys are patient and wait when their name is called, they're ready to roll.
Coach, today's student athlete guest is one of only 16 student athletes in all of college football to be a finalist for the Campbell Trophy. He also just took the national lead in points responsible for, averaging 20.2 points per game, which tops the FCS. Obviously, I'm talking about Davius Richard. What can you tell us about him?
What can I tell you that you all don't already know, or I haven't heard you say it? He's a weapon. He's a weapon. I'm so happy that he's on my team and I don't have to coach against him. But he can make all the throws, does a great job of managing the game and getting us in the right play. It's times out there, Coach Leone's up in the press box asking me in the headsets, what is he checking to? Because I don't know what he's checking to. But he always gets to do a right play if he doesn't like what he sees. And then, obviously he can beat you scrambling and beat you with his legs. Very dynamic athlete. And I'm so excited to see him come out of shell now. He's got dancing on the field and smiling and everything else. I don't know if I'm ready to take that chance and jump in that barber chair and let him, tighten me up a little bit. But I trust him with the football in his hands, but not with my hairline yet.
Besides his barber skills, can you talk about, just give us a little bit more insight as far as Davius off the field?
Off the field. He's an unbelievable student. He's about to graduate in the spring, with his master's in business, and already has a job set up waiting for him once he graduates if the NFL doesn't work. But I'm sure he'll be getting that call. We're just hoping that he gets drafted. We need him to be the first quarterback from Black College to be drafted in 20 years. But whoever gets him, they're going to get a steal. They are going to get a steal. But great teammate, and he's obviously the leader and the face of this team.
Davius, how are you today?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Doing great. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. If you can you take us back to Saturday's ball game?
I mean, just blessed to come out with a win, first and foremost. That's the most important thing at the end of the day. But, I mean, it wasn't the best win, it wasn't the prettiest. Like you said, we jumped up early. I think we probably scored the first 28, back-to-back in a row or something like that. Then kind of got a stalemate going into the second half, entering the second quarter and third quarter. And then was able to find some momentum again to put some more points on the board to solidify the win. So, I mean, just commend those guys up front. First and foremost is even jumping up, getting that lead early, because that wouldn't happen. I don't know how that ball game would have went. And then just also the running backs and the receivers just doing their thing, finding the box.
Thank you. We have a question from Caleb Veal. Go ahead, Caleb.
David, it's good to see you. Congratulations on the win. You guys
Appreciate it.
played a really good game at the end and were able to get it to a great start at the beginning. Just wondering about your leadership, and I know that you're a great leader. Just when guys seem to drop passes, which happens from time to time, just what type of approach do you take to your teammates to just kind of keep them in the game and keep them focused, letting them know that, hey, we're going to need you going down the stretch?
I mean, for kind of sometimes I got to just control my emotion first of all, man. You know, just that competitive spirit. Just seeing bad plays don't sit well to anybody that's competitive. But I mean, I just try to remember, man, we all just created by one God, follow the same leader, and everybody human at the end of the day. You're gonna make mistakes. There's gonna be times in the game when I probably throw a pick off, fumble, or don't make the best read as far as handling the ball. And I just think about what kind of teammate I want to come up to me if I make that mistake. So I mean, I just when that happens, receivers drop the ball or anything bad happens, I just kind of remind them like, hey man, you still that dude. It's just a play. Bad plays happen. You just can't let it overcome you for the whole game. You still got a lot of ball left to play. So I'm gonna be looking for you later on. So when I call up on your number again, just own up to it and just make your play.
And then your relationship with Coach Leone. Coach Oliver said that you guys have he gives you a lot of room to be able to work your magic. And just what does that do as the confidence for you and being able to gather the troops and be able to make commands with the offensive line and everything, checking into the right plays? What does that do for you as a player?
It means a lot. It just makes me comfortable. I mean, he says it all the time. He's saying, this not my offense, this your offense. You lead those guys, you on the field with those guys, you execute the plays. So, I mean, he give me a lot of room as far as like controlling wise, miking. If you come out in a certain play, don't get the right look, audibles. So, I mean, it just speaks a lot about the trust and confidence that he has in me to go out there and produce.
Davius, in your prep for this weekend, what have you seen on Howard?
Really just like speaking for any other team, just like Norfolk, the record doesn't match their plan. Like you said, they've been in every ball game that they played. They played a good play, I believe it was Northwestern, and was in a ball game with them for them to be FBS. Which speaks a lot of volume. So, I mean, I know we're going into a dogfight, but we're just going to come in there ready to fight, come out there, throw the first punch. I know it's going to be a long game going into the last quarter. I'm just looking forward to it, man. Like you said, we try to, talk about championships a lot, but if anything, this is going to be a championship type of game for the MEAC.
And our next question is from Kate Rogerson. Go ahead, Kate.
Davius, Coach Oliver told us that this team has not played their best football yet. As the leader of the offense, what do you think the offense needs to do in order to play your best game on Saturday?
I feel like we should be our biggest critics as far as everybody individual-wise. Like I said, we had a stalemate, just speaking on this last game, we had a stalemate going into the second, entering the third quarter. So it was like a lot of players that was not there, or that was there, but we just didn't execute. So just coming into this weekend, this week of preparation, just being your biggest critic as far as like make sure you know your responsibility using right technique and footwork, depending on the position you play, and then just trying to get better every day. Every day you're either getting better or you're getting worse. And we're just trying to make sure at the end of the day we get better each and every day leading up into the game.
For you, you've played a lot of MEAC football. What has this last season been like? You know these teams, you know these programs, but at the same time, you're trying to improve your game week by week. So for you personally, what has it kind of been like transitioning from when you look back on your journey as an Eagle from freshman year to now, your productivity on the field?
It's just amazing. Just thinking back to my freshman year when I was playing these teams for the first time, just going out there with like a chicken with his head cut off, not knowing what was going on, just out there just playing football. Had a little bit of understanding as far as like what the defense was trying to do compared to now. It's like, all right, we really put in work as far as film study and knowing what they like to do on first down, third down, red zone, and all that. So that plays a big part into my production and my preparation for the game. And then just seeing familiar faces as far as I was blessed to be able to go to the media day 2 times in a row last year and this year. And then just meeting some of those guys or just within plays, having a small talk with those guys, whether it's trash talk or just like giving gratitude or appreciation. So it's just like, just makes it a little bit more fun to go out there knowing, like I know somebody on the other side of the ball that I can actually like get personal with and talk trash to, or just like, yeah, this and that. So, I mean, we're going to go hit for hit. So it's always just a good time and just blessed to be out there.
I'm sure you heard some of the accolades that I was reading off earlier. What does it mean to you to be a finalist for the Campbell Trophy?
Man, it just means the world. And just hopefully, just not to me, man, just like everybody that's been embarked in my journey from freshman year, even high school. Just like the academic Heisman, so that I take a lot of pride in within my work, my schoolwork and stuff like that. So it just speaks a lot knowing like I was able to accomplish that outside of just getting my degree in December and pursuing my master's, just like added something else to it. And then just hopefully it just sends a message of gratitude to everybody that helped me come along this way as far academic wise, as far as the academic advisors in like Lucy, Quadro, and everything they did for me as far as just making sure I had my best foot forward going into school or starting school, or make sure if I need tutoring or if I need anything help wise with my academics, they try their best to provide it. So man, if they didn't get that kind of appreciation, I'm just sending it out right now. Just not outside of them, just even back to high school, the teachers, the AD, just teammates, classmates. It's just really just like I'm really appreciative of everything. And then just want them to know they weren't no one-man show. I didn't get here by myself. There's a lot of people that played a part in it.
And Kate asked earlier about your progression from your freshman year. Where have you seen specifically, technically in your game that you have improved?
Probably I would say pre-snap, like my pre-snap game plan, if you would like to say. Like I said, from freshman year, it was kind of like I could see the defense. They possibly being this, possibly being that. Then you just got to worry about if they rolling safeties or that, or they sitting pressure. Compared to now, it's kind of like I could look at a look or look at a certain alignment, and it's like, all right, I got a high chance that I know this is coming. And most of the time, like I said, my preparation throughout the week kind of prepares me for that. So just knowing, like, if I know they're about to sit pressure over here, I can get my protection right, so I don't have to rush my read or anything. Or if I know they're going to be in cover 3, I already kind of have a pre-snap plan as far as like which receiver might be open unless defense does something different or somebody just doesn't do their job. So it just like takes a lot of stress as whenever I say height and just get into the motion of being a quarterback, just knowing what's going to happen.
You have another question from Kate Rogerson. Go ahead, Kate.
Davius, I know this season is not over yet, but when you reflect on these past couple months, being your senior year, what has it been like for you?
A blur. Man, this season, but it just reminds me of just like my senior season in high school. That went by fast. And I kind of already had that in the back of my head coming into this season, that this probably be one of the quickest seasons, or it may seem like, even though it's a long season, but it's going to go by quick. So I really just came into the year telling myself, just be appreciative of everything, every moment, every workout, every hard session, every after practice, sitting in the locker room, just talking with the guys, every bad practice, every bad play, every good play, man. Just trying to soak in all the last few memories I'm going to have with college football, because I know after the last game is going to be over with. And a lot of just me and a lot of guys going to part ways and probably don't see each other until we come back 10 years for a reunion. Because, man, life going to get real at that point. People going to move around the states, get a wife, family, and all that stuff, different jobs. So, I just really just make sure I strengthen those relationships with my teammates and my coaches, knowing that by the time December comes, January, probably be the last time I see them for a little minute.
Did you get a chance to enjoy the homecoming weekend festivities and kind of take a moment to reflect and soak it all in, going off your just last statements?
Yeah, after the game, man, me and a couple of my teammates, we sat in the locker room for about an hour after the game ended, just talking about it, just enjoying the good times. Then, we had everybody back home, from all around. So it was a good time seeing old teammates from 2019 that I didn't see in a couple of years, seeing alumni and X, Y, and Z. Then just after we left the locker room, went to the Greek Bowl, it was just like looking like a big family reunion. Everybody around there, either alumni or go to Century, and it just felt like love. And that's, at the end of the day, all you can ask for.
Davius, it seems like in your first 3 years, whenever you would score a touchdown, you maintain that thermostat mentality and you just hand the ball to the official and go back, nice little jog over to the sideline. And this year, as Coach mentioned, you've really come out of your shell, and it looks like you're having a lot of fun, a bunch of different dance moves you're throwing out there. What has sparked that?
Really just knowing it's my last time being here, as far as my last time playing these teams, my last time having the first snap of the drive with my boys. And then just like, it's not even just like I wasn't having fun the first 3 years. It was just, like I said, thermostat mentality. And then just over time, I had to learn, like, that don't have to be 24/7. Like, when something good happens, you can celebrate. And then just knowing just when, the place and time. So just that. And then then it's funny. So I knew he was going to bring that up. And then just even just like the last 3 years, my teammates, they've been getting on me bad the last 3 years, man. Talking about, why you don't never do nothing when you score, this and that. You just, it's funny because they said, they always joke, trolling, saying this is my celebration last 3 years. Every time I score, I get up, get a ball to the referee, get a couple claps and run to the sideline. So I just had a couple teammates just come to me, man, just like, bro, I need to see you do something. Give me suggestions and stuff like that, man. So when it happened, it's just like embracing the moment, being around those guys, just giving them what they want. And then, as you can see, it's just been trickling down for real as far as everybody else.
What has their reaction been, your teammates, to you coming out of your cell a little bit?
They've been loving it, man. Like I said, they've been seeing what's been happening. They've been people coming up to me, giving me suggestions. Talking, oh, next time you do this, I gotta see you do this. Torselli, talking about, bro, we had a handshake, bro. I tried to do the handshake last game, but I had forgot it. I felt bad, but we kind of did it. But just stuff like that, just knowing it brings joy to just celebrate with the teammates and having them come up. Oh, I need to see you do this, or just like let's hit a handshake and stuff like that. So man, we just kind of really just been trying to embrace that.
You talked about Torricelli, Simpkins, the center, and I know those guys take great pride in making sure that no one gets their hands on you. And we also heard Coach Oliver say that they don't usually get a lot of attention unless they're penalized. So this is a chance for you to shout out your O-line. What do you got to say about your guys up front?
They definitely don't get the attention and the recognition that they deserve. The guys do a great job of just doing their jobs, doing what their coaches ask them to do. And then people just don't understand how big of a role what they do plays into me. Just not even just like performance, as far as doing blocking and stuff. Like me and T got a great relationship. Me and DQ got a great relationship. And as far as them being the veterans on the line, they kind of seen looks and they also watch film and stuff. So a lot of the times when I'm not sure about stuff, or if they come out in a look that they possibly didn't put on film and stuff, you can probably see it pre-snap. I had a conversation with T before we snapped the ball. Hey, T, what you think the best thing to do? Hey, T, you think we good with this call, or you think we good with this protection? And then just communicating that with them and the running backs, and then just making sure everything's set. And then just like little things, little moments like that just brings joy to me, just knowing like, hey, first of all, just having that kind of intelligence in front of me to know they know what they're doing, and they can also provide feedback and just help me with my job sometimes, just take the loads off, just give me a little less that I can worry about. Because I mean, being a quarterback, you got to worry about everything. You got to worry about miking, make sure the protection right, and then once the ball snap, you got about 4 to 6 guys coming at you full speed, trying to take your head off while you got to deliver the ball to receivers. So just knowing that they know what they're doing and they do it exceptionally well, man, and take a lot of pride into it. Like, they guys, like, they take a lot of pride. They sometimes try to beat themselves up if they don't get the block that they wanted, or they kind of mess up on their assignment. So, man, I just want to give them all their flowers. And if they watch this, just know they got like a little dinner or something on me soon. So I'm in the works with that. I got to treat them boys. I already did, though. I had gave front five, I had got a shirt. So I had gave all of them one of my signature shirts. And you just should have seen the smile on their faces. And so just doing stuff like that for them. And I plan on doing some more stuff.
Save a large for me, okay?
All right, I got you.
And you said little dinner for offensive linemen. You better, save some coins.
It might be a whole bunch of ham sandwiches, but I know they're gonna be appreciative. So at least it's something.
I know you've still got some football to play here, Davius, but as you look back on your career here, how do you kind of put this into words?
Really a blessing, because I feel like that falls into every other word I could think of. Just blessing, unbelievable, historic, and just life-changing. Just knowing when I came in 2019 and the kind of season they had previous before I got here, and even the season we had in 2019, finishing under 500, and then just seeing the growth and the change in the program, just from things from just like seeing the weight room change, seeing things around the field change, bigger and better things, new jerseys and stuff like that, than just as far as the football side, seeing what kind of program that we built. I just know I'm gonna have a lot to reflect on once that clock hits 0-0-0 after the last game. I'm gonna try not to tear up. I remember my senior year, last game, being in the hut after the game, kind of got teared up. But I'm gonna try to hold it strong for those guys. But I'm just really, really, really appreciative of the university and the coaching staff and the players and everybody that I met here, just making these 4 years and just allowing me to grow as a man, student, leader, player, and then just as a Christian. It's just been like, I really just can't put it in words. I get lost of words sometimes.
Davius, I want to follow that question up by asking you what do you want your legacy to be? Like when you come back and celebrate the championship you guys won 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 25 years from now, and the future athletes here at not just the football program, but future athletes all over North Carolina Central, what do you want your lasting legacy to be when they talk about you 10, 15, 25 years from now?
Kind of a tough question. There's a lot of things you can say. I mean, one of the most important things as just being an athlete is having winning tied to your name. And then just having that being your legacy, just knowing you came through and you won. And just so that, and then just somebody who took advantage of everything that he had, just owning out the field. As far as me just was able to graduate in December, get my degree, put my foot in within the community, within on campus too also. Just really those probably two things. And then just somebody that was selfless as far as being an athlete, a part of a team. Just knowing like day in and day out that my teammates and my coaches knew that I was willing to do any and everything to put my team in the best position. Whether it be just sitting out a game because of injury, whether it be leading in position meetings, or just anything and everything that I was able to do, just helping out around the facilities. Just know that I was really just bought into the program, and I really had just like love for the culture of Central with football and outside of football, and just knowing I'm a diehard Eagle guy at the end of the day. So when my legacy come back, 10, 15 years, just want to be just like, hey, if I didn't know anything about Davius, I know he was an Eagle at the end of the day. And I just feel like, to me, that just speaks a lot, especially later on in life when I get my wife and kids, I bring them back to the field and walk in the middle of the field to celebrate our championship 10, 15 years later. And then just, I don't know, man. I'm just living in the moment.